Welcome back to Believers IAS Academy. In today's topic of the day discussion, we will be discussing about the UNESCO's World Heritage Site, anything and everything about the World Heritage Site as to how a particular country registers its place inside the World Heritage Site category. And this we are discussing solely because India has recently added 7 new natural sites to the tentative list. So it's not fully approved by the UNESCO's World Heritage Site, but India has added 7 new natural sites to the tentative list of the UNESCO's World Heritage Site, taking the entire count of the World Heritage Sites in India to 69, of which 49 are cultural sites, 17 are natural sites, and 3 are mixed. It's both cultural and also natural. So in this video, we will understand what World Heritage Site means, and also we will understand the very recent addition to the World Heritage Site. And since right now the 7 new addition is only kept in the tentative list, we will also try and understand what are all those important World Heritage Sites which were recently declared under the UNESCO's World Heritage Site, which are not tentative. And in the end, we will solve one prelims question. So why are we studying this? Because recently India added 7 new natural sites to UNESCO's tentative list of World Heritage Sites, and the current numbers with this newly addition, India's tentative list has now become 69, of which 49 are cultural, 17 natural, and 3 are mixed. And what is the significance of this particular move? Because it shows India's commitment to preserving its cultural and natural natural heritage of the country, and projecting its cultural diplomacy, right, or rich legacy on the global stage in terms of the cultural diplomacy that it can exhibit, right? So we will understand what World Heritage Site is in the first place. So the definition of World Heritage Site, it says that these are those sites which are of outstanding universal value, which incorporates all those things, predominantly cultural, natural, and even mixed. Mixed means both cultural and natural, that are recognized by the UNESCO's, or let's say the UNESCO, which is the UN body for protection and preservation, right? And what is the convention under which this was adapted? It was established under the 1972 UNESCO's World Heritage Convention. And what is the process? The very first process is that the country identifies the site as to what is the particular site that has the scope, or which stands as an outstanding universal value in terms of its cultural heritage or the natural heritage, or owing to both cultural and natural. A country first decides, and then a list is sent, a tentative list is sent. These names are sent to the tentative list of the UNESCO's World Heritage Site, and later the nomination to the UNESCO happens, and further evaluations based on those names is done, and at the end it is declared, or final World Heritage List is declared out by the UNESCO, which ultimately gives out the status that this particular place or any particular site, right, as a UNESCO's World Heritage Site, right? So this is a very simple process, nothing to worry about it. You don't have to remember the definition. You just have to keep in mind that all the places which are listed amongst the World Heritage Site, the UNESCO's World Heritage Site, are of outstanding universal value. And second most important thing, that this was established under the 1972 UNESCO World Heritage Convention. And the process is just for understanding. No question will be asked in the preliminary or any examination in terms of how the nomination happens, right? But this is just for the understanding. Now, talking about the India's World Heritage Sites. India ratified the convention in 1977. This is good to know, not required to know, right? And talking about the current tally as of September 2025, we have at present 44 World Heritage Sites, of which 36 is cultural, 7 is natural and 1 is mixed. The earlier numbers were the tentative list, right? The number of places that India has recommended. So that is part of the tentative list, the part, the number 69. But this is the one which is declared, right? And which one is the latest added, or the recent addition to this list? It is the Maratha military landscapes of India, which became the 44th site, right? And if you have to understand, this Maratha military landscape was added to the tentative list way back in 2021. So now I hope you understand. So earlier, first the country recommends few names and it sends to the tentative, or it is created, or it sends to the tentative list of UNESCO World Heritage Site. Further evaluations happen, and then only after some proper evaluation done on that particular site, it will be declared as a World Heritage Site. So the very recent addition, the Maratha military landscape, was 44th site, which was sent to the UNESCO's tentative list way back in 2021. So this is important. And let's simply understand, or in brief understand, what a Maratha military landscape is. So basically these are group of 12 different ports which were predominantly built during the 17th to 19th century, which depicts the military prowess of the Maratha Empire under the Chhatrapati Shivaji's ruling, right? And hence this was recommended because of the immense importance that it holds in terms of how the Marathan military power progressed in that particular time. And this even shows, or is a direct lens to understand the guerrilla warfare, right? So the Maratha Empire was mostly famous for the guerrilla military tactics that it used to counter its enemies both on the landward and the waterward side, right? So the landward and the waterward. So the Marathan military prowess proves its stance both in the landward side, countering the very strong Mughals back at that time, and the waterward battles which they mostly fought against the Britishers, right? So they had such good military prowess, and all of that owing to the Maratha military landscapes of few important forts, namely 12, right? Of course, not all those names. It's good to know, but not essentially required to know. But to club it to one particular concept or one particular name, it's Maratha military landscape. Also keep in mind, it is between the 17th and 19th century that these Maratha landscapes were developed, and this was during the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaja's rule, right? So this is more than sufficient. And talking about all the newly added list, or the 7 newly added places to the tentative list of 2025, the first is the Deccan Traps of Maharashtra, right? And second one is the St. Mary's Island, which is in Karnataka. And then the Meghalayan Age Caves. We have the Erramati Debalu, which is in Andhra Pradesh. And then Varkala Cliffs in Kerala, and others include Naga Hill Ophiolite and Tirumala Hills. So of course the tentative list obviously takes some time, and it's not that the very next year that the names will be out. As we discussed, the Maratha military land base or landscape took almost 3 years, or let's say almost like 4 years, to be finally awarded as the UNESCO's World Heritage Site, right? So anyway, this is all important. Keep in mind all these names, and I hope now it is very clear as to what is the importance of World Heritage Site. Now, yeah, coming to the importance, what is the importance of World Heritage Site? So this puts India, or this can be treated as a soft power, right? For any country, if more number of its landscapes are registered under the UNESCO's World Heritage Site, it shows the country's soft power in showing its cultural diplomacy, and talks about the rich heritage of the country, right? So all of those things, right? So this is more than sufficient to understand from this particular topic. Now let's solve one prelims question. With the reference to the UNESCO's World Heritage Sites, consider the following statements. Only sites included in the tentative list of country are eligible for nomination to the World Heritage List. The World Heritage Sites can be cultural, natural, or mixed. India ratified the UNESCO World Heritage Convention in 1972. Which of the statements are correct? Please use the comment section, leave your answers below. Anyway, we will come back with more such interesting content. If you have still not subscribed to Believers IAS YouTube channel, consider subscribing the channel and stay tuned.